Hey, you might remember on a previous video that I've done called Interior Plushness. Maybe you'll remember this. And I made these extra holes. They're 3/4 20s. I could mount a cup holder, cell phone holder. I don't know, but it's there if I want it. And I'll probably forget about it, never do anything with it, but well, here's the planning ahead, right? I have 4 switches I need to put somewhere. What I want to do is make a little switch panel down here. And it just so happens I have a place to put some screws so I can attach a panel. Anyways, but to finish the wiring, I really need to do that. Otherwise I'm just tired of open ends. So let's go ahead and do it so I can wrap up the wiring like I said. See, I'm going to make it interesting. I'm not going to just do some cheesy little panel. I'm going to try and get creative with it. I'm kind of winging it a little bit. I got some rough ideas of how I want to do it. And I think I'm just going to start, instead of thinking too much, I have a tendency to think too much when I start stuff. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to wing it. Yeah. Alright, look what I found. My diagram I made. Those 2 holes right there are where these 2 screws are. I put these screws in here just to mark so I can measure easier. 3.69 inches up, and I have it, as you can see, marked out. Alright, we have success. I got the 2 little Frankenstein bolts sticking out right there, and so now I have a place to mount a console, that is. So let me see what I got for steel or aluminum, I'm not sure. So after scrounging around, I can't find anything around here, and it's after 9 o'clock. I think I'll have to run down to Tractor Supply tomorrow and pay the long dollar for a little piece of steel or aluminum. Alright, I got it laid out. It doesn't look like much right now. Well, let me back up. Yes, so I paid the long dollar for a 22 gauge. 22 gauge, huh? Anyways, paid the long dollar for a 22 gauge, keep on wanting to say shotgun, sheet metal. I have it laid out, as you can see. It doesn't look like much. This could be total crap. I don't know. But we'll see. Right, Dixie? What do you think of that, Dixie? Okay. So I'm going to get started here drilling some holes. Let's rock. So I got this bottom part cut out, but as you can see, I just cut it with shears, and it's not as nice as I'd like it. So I just got it close. Then I'm gonna go to the bandsaw. I'm gonna go to the the belt sander. See, the belt sander, and I'm gonna try and just clean it up. Because when I was cutting this earlier in the bandsaw to get this down to the right size, it deforms it. That's the problem with 22 gauge. Every time you cut it, it deforms it somehow. Whether it's shears, whether it's the bandsaw. Now if I had a bandsaw with a real fine blade, that would probably work really well. But I don't have that, so this is what we gotta do. I'll go over to the belt sander and see what I can do here. I'll be right back. Just wait a second. Okay, I'm back from the belt sander. I think it's better. Now I gotta show you a piece of high-tech equipment I got. All right. This is my sheet metal brake. It's just adequate enough to do something with 22 gauge steel. Where were you on the night of the 6th? All right. Again, precision is of the utmost importance. That looks pretty good. So we clamp it with these high-tech C-clamps. Or as I like to say, we Judd clamp it. Now all you youngsters won't know what that is probably, but Judd clamp it. Anyone get that? Okay. Here we go. You know, it bows in the middle a little bit, so the bend isn't as sharp as you would like. You'll see. Because it's flimsy. Let me have a shot and see if it's 90 degrees. Yep, looks 90 degrees to me. Alright, so let's see what we got. So, alright, here's the deal. Closest to the clamps, that bends a little sharper. But as it gets in the middle, because this thing is flimsy, it just kind of bows out a little bit. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's just not quite as sharp in the center of the bend. But it's still decent. Now, the problem is it's not a real sheet metal brake, because now I have to bend these. In a real brake, there'd be feet. You could take sections out to clear the part you just bent. So, since these are small, I'm just going to go over here on the bench vise and bend them on that. So here we are. As you can see, I got the bottom bent. I did have to add these 2 holes, mounting holes. So these are 1/2-inch holes. These are for the switches. So that's ultimately what this is for those 4 switches. These holes here are going to get bigger. I got this hole cutting dealio here. And then yes, I'm going to flare it with my flaring tool that I made. Let's do it. This screw here is a 3/4 inch bolt, fine thread. So that's why I had to have 3/4 inch holes to start. The nice thing about this is it leaves a nice sharp, clean edge. And then easiest way is to use the impact wrench. That's what I'm gonna do, so hold on. Here we go. Sharp edges, you know. So, there we have it. This is thin, so it does leave a little burr on this side. You know what I'm gonna do? I should have done it from this side, because this is nice and clean. This has got a little sharpness. Now the flare die that I made, it's I made it to fit this size here, which is, I don't remember what it is. It's 1 3/8 or something like that.
Let's do it again.
Let's see if we get a close up here. Oh yeah. All right. Now, the flare die. Okay, self-explanatory, right? This goes in the hole. And you can see when I push this from the back side, it's going to flare it with the angle that I have there. So this would be the punch, and this would be the die. All right, so you just get hand tight. And then this is pretty thin, so this will be easy. This is 22 gauge, as you know. And I think I had it was 16 gauge at least, if not thicker. Some other stuff, so. See, it's clamped down. Oh, look at that. Not only does it add interest, looks nice, but it adds strength too. Hopefully it won't be as flimsy. Now you can see the mistake I made though. When I cut this hole originally, I cut it from the wrong side, and you can see the burr is still there. And these ones don't have the burr, it's on this side. So, I don't know. We'll do something about that later. Thanks. Now, if this was really thick steel, you could do this. You'd want to lubricate it a little. Maybe put some anti-seize on the threads of the bolts so it doesn't screw the threads up, and maybe throw some WD-40 on the sheet metal where you're forming it. But for this, not so much. I'm not sure how it'll look in the truck, but hopefully I didn't waste a bunch of time doing this. Yeah, you know what? I show enough of my mistakes, so if this ends up not working out, you won't see this video. There it is with a switch in there. But what do you think? Imagine 4 switches in there instead of just 1. And I'm going to paint it black. Now the switches aren't in the ideal location. You know, there's a little bit of a reach for the driver. But the thing is I just didn't want to drill a bunch of holes in the dash. And there was really no room for on the cluster. As you can see, I got the gauges back out because I'm wiring there. So the first switch is going to be fan override. The second switch here is going to be for the cargo light, which is back here. And then the third switch here is for the reverse light or backup light override. So I got the regular reverse lights on this thing, and then the lights that are the bumper. And I'll be able to turn those on if I'm like messing with something back there, hooking up a trailer in the dark or whatever. I just think it'd be kind of cool to be able to turn the backup lights on separately. The fourth switch is, I'm thinking, not sure, we're just going to call it auxiliary right now, but eventually maybe an air compressor for airbags in the back. I want to show you one more thing. It has nothing to do with what we just did here. I mentioned these crew cabs, they're not real well thought out. Window regulator is right there in the back of the door. The door latch right here, easy cheesy. Got the door pull. Cool. Now I'll roll down the window. Let me see if I can get you a view of this. It's awkward. Does this look natural to you guys? I think I just screwed my shoulder up. Yeah.